It's a complete coincidence that I'm dressed in red today, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. So in this video, I'm going to show you an L1 that you probably have never heard of. Some of you might have, because I've talked about this L1 before on this channel back in the day, but it is probably one of the best L1s out there, full stop. And I'm going to show you around it and you might find it interesting. Okay. It's called the Hive blockchain. Now, first and foremost, that is one of the worst names possible because that name Hive is already used by another blockchain. There's also, well, another company anyway, that is also blockchain related. So when this was actually being picked, I was already on the parent chain or the sister chain that it forked from. And I remember participating in a group think and advising against the name, but the mind was already set on the name. So we went with Hive. So I've been on this platform now collectively for about 6 years, well, since 2017. And I've basically blogged on this platform since then on a daily basis, sometimes twice a day. So I was on this platform during a bear market and then a bull market and then a bear market and then a bull market and now a bear market going into another bull market. So I'm kind of a veteran on this platform, so I can basically talk quite a fair bit about it. Now, like I said before, it's a social L1, okay, and it's probably the premier social token in the world, but nobody's ever heard of it. So like I said before, it's called Hive. That's the logo there. And as you can see, it's fast, scalable, powerful. The blockchain for Web3. Now, this blockchain forked from something called Steem. You might have heard of Steemit. And the community that used to be on that basically moved across to Hive, right? So that other sister blockchain became a bit of a ghost chain, or it's not a ghost chain, it's being used, but it's not quite the same as what it used to be. So the energy that used to be on Steem back in the day is now on Hive, and it's grown and eventually differentiated itself completely. Now, this is obviously the information page where you can basically learn more about it. You can look at the white paper. It describes the ecosystem, the wallets, talks about the developers. Now, most of these guys are fully doxed. We know who they are. I've met most of them in person because every year we go to a city somewhere in the world and have a conference. So I've been on those conferences several times. So I know a lot of these people in person. I'm not a developer myself. I'm a user of the platform, but it's a really tight-knit sort of community of old school users of the platform. Now, on top of the L1 itself is, like I said, it's a social media platform. So, you know, it's originally used for blogging, whether it be text-based or vlogging, video-based. There's several video platforms sitting on top of it. Photography, etc. Much like, you know, Facebook and Reddit sort of in one. And on top of it, you know, we have lots of different dApps that do different things. And over the years, a lot of these dApps have basically fleshed out to their own entire L2s, you can call them, right? Functioning in and of themselves. But all of these dApps have access to the blockchain. They derive information from the blockchain. They verify from the blockchain. They utilize the tokens on the blockchain. There are 2 tokens on the blockchain. Let's pick any random person, right? So this person I've picked because they're the latest post. Okay, as you can see, it's a standard, very short post, something like you'd see on, say, Instagram or something like that. And you can see here some comments, that's engagement. And on a post, you can see there's money. That's actual money, right? Let me just widen that so you can see better. That's actual money. So that is decided by a bunch of, you know, an algorithm which takes into consideration many things. How many people voted, who voted, because each vote isn't the same. So the more money you have staked on the system, the higher your voting power. And here are 111 votes. So you can tell the people that voted. Here is Block Trades. Block Trades is one of the witnesses and a major developer on the platform. Zendol, you can see his vote is worth $90. So the bulk of that basically was influenced by Block Trades. And then you have all these other users as well. My vote isn't worth much because I'm not as powerful as some of these guys, but you know, I'm not too bad. And that amount is divvied up into, let me just widen that again, pending. So it gives us a pending payout. Then it breaks down the pending payout into the liquid amount, which is the stablecoin HBD, that is Hive backed dollar. So that's an algorithmic stablecoin, and Hive Power HP, which is the other half. So that's split 50-50 because the person has opted at the point of posting to split it that way. You could either do this or you can power up, they say, which is to stake the whole thing, in which case the entire thing would show up as Hive Power. And here it tells you how long you have for the payout. So payout happens 7 days after posting, right? So in 7 days time, this person is going to receive that much in their wallet, which is awesome. Now, each comment is treated exactly the same way as a post. They can be upvoted or downvoted in the same way. As you can see, this person here has received no upvotes or downvotes, but you know, sometimes you see the comments themselves receive an upvote or a downvote. I could do that now if I wanted. I'll hit that and it basically give them X amount of money. Now, where does the money come from? The money comes from inflation. So the inflationary token is then distributed across the board, again, via algorithm based on what happened. I mean, I can do a deep dive into how that mechanism works, but you can easily figure it out once you start using it. And if you've used Reddit in the past or Facebook or stuff like that, you'd understand the concept of upvoting and downvoting stuff. Right. So this person, if you go to their account, you can see they have 2 posts so far. Okay. Now, this one is done really, really well. This one didn't do quite as well. If you can see, that's only that's barely $1. So it all depends, right, on who votes you, or you know, who you know. Sometimes what network you're in, what socials you're in. And if you go to their wallet, let me just see if I can access this person's wallet. All right, there it is. You can see that they haven't got that much, right? They've got 0 Hive powered up, and they've got a delegation from somebody else, which allows them to post. You have to have a little bit in there for you to be able to post, just to avoid spam. But they've got savings of, or they've got liquid 100 Hive dollars. I'm willing to bet that they put that in there in an attempt to buy Hive. So you can do that. If you look at the wallet, right, you have different ways of keeping your money. You have the liquid Hive. This Hive is not powered up, which means you can withdraw it at any time. You have the powered up Hive, which is the one that is staked, and that takes 13 weeks to power down. And what if you power down the whole thing, it will give you 1/13 of your powered up Hive over 13 weeks, right? So every week you get it, you know, 1/13 released, slightly less than 10%. Okay. And then you have this Hive dollars. Again, that's liquid. You can take it by, you can, you know, withdraw it, do anything you want with it. And then you can put it in savings. And if you put it in savings, you get a 20% APR, which is the highest in the world. And that has been like that now for over 2 years. Since the last bull market in 2021, that has been like that. And the only other coin to have competed with this was that failed token UST from Terra Luna, which crashed catastrophically. But this has basically held its own. I remember when that was first instituted, a lot of people thought that maybe that wouldn't survive. But here we are in 2024, and it's still, you know, kicking. If you want to take your money out, it takes 3 days to withdraw your money, which basically prevents people from dumping and running away, basically. And this is probably the most stable coin in the world, because like it's kept its value really, really well. And a lot of it is to do with the amazing tokenomics that this thing was designed with in the first place. And the fact that a lot of the users of this platform are kind of die-hard believers in the system. So we haven't had much dumping. So let me just show you my blog. Okay, so that's my blog. As you can see, I blog quite regularly. I posted this today. You can see I'm wearing the same clothes there, at least the same hoodie. And I was talking about cooking, whatever. And here's my friend Steve with the upvote and the comment, and that's my response. So it's a really cool social media platform that, you know, allows you to communicate with friends. We have different communities, right? So if you want to be successful on this platform, then I much advise that you join a community that's of interest to you. I'm a member of a few communities myself. Photography related community I'm a part of. As you can see, these are amazing posts by other people. You can basically, you know, see some wonderful photos. One of the best communities on here is actually the travel community, which is just exemplary. And there's an app or dApp that sits on top of this that is a travel specific dApp for, you know, lifestyle bloggers and things like that, much like stuff you see on Instagram. Pinmapple, that's the one. They actually have their own website that plugs directly into this. So let me just click on the latest one. As you can see, that is someone who's basically traveled and is vlogging, or blogging rather, their experience. As you can see, they've earned themselves $71, and those are the comments, right? Very cool. And if you've been on here for a while, you know, you get to know people, you know, you sort of support each other, you know, do meetups in person. And meetups are very, very good for actually earning lots of rewards, because if you do a meetup, it sort of demonstrates that you are spreading the word, you know, building community on the platform. And the whales on this platform, they respond positively to that. Let me show you one of the whales on this platform. I think might blow your mind how much money some people have. So this character is called Rancho Relaxo, and they have over 2 million Hive. They're not the biggest whale, but they're one of the biggest. And their account is worth just under $700,000 at the moment. And that's because the token at the moment is worth just over 30 cents. The all-time high for this token is something like $14. And in the last bull market, it went as high as $6. So that's a 20x. Now imagine if it went back to all-time highs, which it most certainly would, just like any other token in the next bull market, then this person is sitting on something like a $14 million account. Absolutely crazy. Now let me just take you through some of the dApps, why I really love this platform, okay? So here's the ecosystem, okay? These are wallets, but some of them are also condensers. What a condenser is an alternative way to access the same information on the blockchain, right? So for instance, right, I showed you my blog earlier on. Okay, so that's my blog, right? And this is the kind of view that you get from it, right? But if I wanted to use another condenser, say one of them, which is actually my favorite, is PicD. This blog, this is the default one, right? This was one that was built by the same developers of the network, but people who have built on top of the blockchain have developed better condensers. So this, for instance, is the same exact thing, but it's a better way of viewing it. And we have about 10 of these, so to suit your needs, right? Because the information is laid out better. The settings are easier to come to. You can schedule posts. You can upload things from different directions, different sources. You can embed things from YouTube, from Twitter, from TikTok, etc. So now, if you look at my my blog rather, see it looks a little bit different, right? Let me just pull those sites aside. This is the default one on the left, right? As you can see, it's just a kind of a list format. But this is the same information. But you can see that this just basically makes it a little bit more inviting, and it gives people a preview. If I click on this one, this is an example of an embedded YouTube post. Okay, it's the same exact post, but viewed from a different condenser. So there are many of these, all with varying tweaks to make, thing more attractive and what have you. So this is my wallet. Not that much money left. I've sort of moved some of the money around a little bit in recent times. There's all the things that I can do. Okay, you can look at the other communities. We can basically look at all the other tokens I have on all the L2s that are sitting on top of Hive. These are the exchanges that I can link to, and basically from here trade my tokens. The Hive token is on Binance, by the way. It was listed many years ago, so it's a legit project, right? Here's Upbit, Git.io. So it's easy to, MEXC. So that's a very popular one where you can do your leverage trading. We have games on the platform. These aren't everything, but these are like the featured ones, right? There are so many now. Like even I haven't seen most of these before. We have 15 featured games. We have 19 social apps. Again, because it's a social first blockchain, it's no surprise that most of the apps are social. NFT, DeFi, tools, sports, and video. Now, as a video content creator myself, if I click on that, we have at least 4 here, but there's actually another one called DTube, which has its own blockchain called Avalon rather. And that Avalon blockchain has a bridge that connects to Hive. So the videos that I put on DTube will also show up on this Hive to be rewarded with this Hive token. But the premier one, I think, is 3Speak, right? Again, most of these have their own websites. As you can see, is a classic video uploading platform, much like YouTube, but it's decentralized, and there's no censorship or any of that stuff on it. And it has its own token, the Speak token or SPK, and you also get Hive. So it's an L2 with its own token that sits on top of Hive. And then we have HiveTube, which is sort of like an extension that you can download into your browser. It allows you to, basically create your own YouTube, right? So as you can see, this is called cast.garden, and this is a podcast. Okay, and this is that extension allows you to create your own podcast. So when you upload files, it actually goes on the Hive blockchain infrastructure. Again, it's censorship resistant. You can say whatever you want. No one's going to close you down, which is kind of surprising to me, because a lot of these content creators that complain, especially like conservative people that get shadow banned all the time, that complain, but they never go to these platforms like Hive. For whatever reason, they keep supporting the centralized platforms that keep kicking them off. Look, FlatEarthDave.tv, like his videos are constantly censored on, on the centralized platforms, because, he talks about flat earth stuff. I mean, you may or may not agree with that, but, everyone has a right to their own opinion. So why can't he publish, right? See, he's got his own apps now that you can download, and all that from just a plugin into your browser. Okay, that's amazing, isn't it? And then we have these other two. This one is it's called Skate Hype. Basically, is dedicated specifically to lovers of skateboarding. And again, this is just from an extension in your browser. You can basically build your own. If you're, say, you're a chef, you're into your makeup review artist, you can build your own system and have your community use that. And then there's Vim, which is like I believe this is like a streaming platform for gamers, right? So this is, I suppose, close to something like Twitch or something like that. And again, the token for monetizing this is Hive. And, I'm not quite sure if it has its own token yet, but I won't be surprised if it did. So those are just a few examples. I've shown you PeakD, which is my preferred social way of accessing the blockchain. But we also have Essensi, Leo Finance. Leo Finance is a really good one. This is dedicated to finance. So, you know, cryptocurrency related stuff, news about crypto, stock market. Some people do NFTs and stuff on it as well. But that's the general idea. Again, you can do anything you want on it, but you'd find that the community is more engaging if you post something related to finance. Again, you can see if I load up my own profile, you can see all my finance related stuff on there. There you go. So that's me. As you can see, no threads found because I haven't posted any finance related stuff on here. Okay. Now, if I, on this blog, posted something to do with finance, use the hashtag, it will then show up on this platform, and then I can get the engagement from there because, again, it's sitting on the same blockchain, right? Okay. Which other one is cool? eGrave. This is quite interesting, right? eGrave is a website platform. So this allows you to create a blog, like a standard, something like a WordPress blog, or, you know, with your own domain name, and it will show up on your blog post when you post things in the blog, and it allows your blog to be supported by the Hive blockchain. So that's exciting. I mean, there's so much going on this blockchain. Here's another one, Actifit. You probably heard of Actifit. It has its own token, but basically what it does is it rewards you for activity. So it encourages you to get out and walk. You can see there's a iOS app, there's a Google app for Android. Okay, let me just close this. Yeah, and it's got like a delegators, a leaderboard. I have a lot of friends that use this, but you know, I don't track my stuff like this. So there's so many apps, right? So these are the ones that are featured at the moment, but there's so many more dApps. So as you can see, the token right now is nearly 40 cents. It's done a nice 10% pump, just like everything else in the last 24 hours or so. If you look at the max, right, you can see that it maxed out at something like, well, what's the all-time high? Let me just look down at the all-time high. The all-time high for this token was $3.41. Now, earlier on I said $14. That was from when it was still Steam. But since the fork in 2021, I believe, it's been 10x. It's 10x down. So that could go up 10 times and surpass that. I think that's going to make easy work of it. And this token pumps so hard because it's such a low market cap, right? As you can see, it's number 346 on the list. The market cap is pretty low. You can see it's 165 million in terms of market cap. So that's a huge opportunity, not financial advice, of course. I've been using this from the beginning, so I'm a huge fan, clearly. The number one benefit of this, of course, is that you don't need to buy the token. You can just blog and create content and earn the token from that, and then just hodl until the price does a 20x or whatever, and then you're in the money. So like I said, that's no financial advice. Just do your own research. But, it's a nice and fun way to get into cryptocurrencies in a very secure and safe way. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to be scammed by anyone. And it actually gives you a community of people. I mean, if you're going to blog anyway, if you're on social media anyway, why not use something that has an inbuilt community of people who are crypto savvy? You can find, you don't have to be talking about crypto. You can be talking about photography, arts, music, cooking, gardening, whatever. There's a community for absolutely everything on there. And in the meantime, you're earning crypto. It's sort of like a no-brainer. And I can't believe that this isn't like in the top 10 of cryptos at the moment. But who knows? Maybe by the end of the bull run. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.